So I've been in this YouTube game for a pretty long time. I've been making YouTube videos for 8 years, been taking it seriously for like the past 4 years. And we have a lot of channels that we're running right now. I have 36 automated channels. That is bringing me a pretty decent amount of income. I mean, it's $115,000 a month. But after revenue splits and paying editors and partners and then taxes, I end up taking away, roughly $40 to $50,000 ish. And that's after taxes, which is pretty good in my opinion. Um, and I think YouTube automation is a really good business model to get into. I mean, we have so many channels that we're running right now, and we scale them to hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. You know, but I want to take today to kind of talk about the flaws with YouTube automation. And I want this video to be more real and just realistic with you guys. Is this something that you should actually put your time into? Because, your time and your attention is the most important asset you have. So putting time towards something is very important, So you deciding if you want to do, said business model is completely up to you and what you're willing to invest in. I'm talking about your time here. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, I guess, my name's 17. I already said I've been running a lot of channels. I don't have a course or anything that I'm trying to sell. It's, everything's for free on YouTube. I just kind of make these videos because I kind of spend like 16 hours a day doing this stuff, and I like talking about this. And I've noticed that these videos help a lot of people, so I want to go into more depth about everything with YouTube automation. So, first things first, is YouTube automation an actual good business model to start, right? Because what's great about YouTube automation is it's a very low barrier skill to entry, right? All you need is a phone and editing software like CapCut, which is free, and then you can make videos off of it, right? But long term, is this something that's going to sustainably make you money? Like, can you drop out of college and do YouTube automation and then make a living for the next 60 years? You so I think, in my opinion, YouTube automation is not just, the number one business model you should get into when you're starting, but it also is the number one skill building asset that you could have. Because when you're doing, videos on YouTube and you're trying to make money through getting views, you have to basically solve this equation of how am I going to get the most amount of views possible to make the most amount of money, right? And then you come into this realization eventually. I'm sure every YouTuber has, where if I get more views, then I'm going to make more money, right? And this is very, very obvious, but this problem gets us very hungry because we understand that getting attention is going to bring us more income, right? And what's great about it is we're getting paid to learn how to get views and end up making money. Now, when I was starting off with YouTube automation, I was starting off posting pretty much the most random things. I had no idea what niche to get into or what videos to make. I was uploading random Fortnite videos because 4 years ago, Fortnite was kind of popping. I was uploading ranking videos. I was trying to make skits. I was making videos like Zacty Films. I was doing everything. I was making anime edits. And I came to a realization that if I'm going to get the most amount of money possible, I need to cater my views to the widest reach, right? And this problem is so much more complex than I kind of summed it up to be, because when you're trying to cater to the biggest audience possible, there is multiple obstacles in your way, right? There's obstacles like language barrier. You got to figure out, how am I going to get the most amount of views without speaking a language, because language limits reach. How am I going to get the most amount of people to understand what is going on without putting words on a screen? How am I going to get the most amount of views possible using the sound effects that everyone knows? What topics am I going to make videos about, right? And I came to a conclusion that the videos that get the most amount of views on YouTube are two types of videos. It is videos with experiments, right? Or videos with experience. Experiments or experience, right? And you will notice this very, very heavily in none other than Mr. Beast himself, right? If you actually go to Mr. Beast's YouTube channel, so Mr. Beast uploads two types of videos. It's either an experiment or an experience. For example, an experiment of seeing 1,000 pilots fighting for a jet, right? That is an experiment to see who is going to win, right? Or 1,000 kids versus the world's strongest man. That's an experiment. Or and then we have experiences like surviving 30 days inside, a chained jail cell or, surviving 100 days in prison. Now, these videos are either experiments or experience. And I came to realize that the videos that I uploaded that, had some type of experience, for example, ranking top 5 lightning striking people moments, right? These videos had a very, very thrilling aspect because it was a human being involved with something, and it's basically an experiment, and you get to experience something at the same time. There is no language barrier, and you can use popular sound effects, right? I realized that ranking and visual storytelling became a crucial role in getting me my initial success with getting views on YouTube. And here I'll show you a couple example videos. I don't want to leak the exact channel itself, but I want to show you how much money we made from some of these videos. Now, I've used this specific video in multiple examples of my previous videos where I explain things in detail, but I want to just show this again. We got 160 million views from this video. That's more views than a lot of people have generated in their entire lifetime. I'm talking about like experts. This is one single video generated nearly $12,000, and the video is 1 minute long. All right, I'm not going to leak the niche, but I will tell you what the video is about. It is basically about people experiencing things in ranking format, right? So if you can take this knowledge that I've just given you with either using both E's, either experiment or experience, and apply it to your own content, I promise you, you're going to see better reach, right? It's all about the mindset you have when you're actually making these videos in the first place. So, for example, let's say you're making videos in the Roblox niche, right? If you cater your videos to an experiment or an experience, like a challenge video, right? Or an experiment like opening chess, right? Or a 99 nights when you're doing something. Or let's say you make videos on animal commentary. You can make animal commentary on the craziest animal experiences, the craziest animal interactions. These types of videos, it all comes down to ideation, right? If you have good ideation behind your video, you will get more reach. Mr. Reese has also said this as well, that one good video idea is not worth 1x, 10x, or even 100x, but 1,000x the amount of return you can get on your investment, right? So if you invest into a good idea on a video, you will get more reach. Now, I'm not saying to sit there for days and think of the perfect idea before you upload, but think of a general idea that can be watched by anyone, either an experiment or an experience, and go off of it, right? And once you start uploading these videos and you get some traction, let's say you do actually start getting some views and you see something is working, what's great about these videos is they're replicatable, right? So if you make a video like this, you can repeat it off different platforms in different ways, right? So if I make ranking funniest human and otter interactions, like with an animal, then I can be like, okay, hey, people really like this. How about I make 10 more videos, including like bears and pandas and crocodiles and dogs and cats. And then boom, all of a sudden, I can use every animal in the animal kingdom and start making videos about this, right? And this is what we've done for a couple of our channels to scale it to like $15,000 a month, right? So I'm telling you guys, using ideation and being able to actually take this experiment or experience mindset to your videos will help you. And once you start doing this A/B testing, right, where you start doing this experiment versus experience ideation and being able to start making videos like this, then you can start experimenting with the actual length of your video, the hooks, etc., right? But a lot of people get stuck in the ideation category, and if I'm gonna be honest, if your idea sucks, your video is not going to perform well, regardless if you have good retention, you could have good average view duration, you could have an amazing swipe ratio, and it won't get pushed out, right? If there's no emotion behind it. And that's going to be the second part of this video that I really want to talk about. It's the emotion of the viewer, right? So I know we've talked about experiment and experience a lot of times in this video, but why do these videos actually do so well in the first place, right? Because if you can break things down to the simplest form, it's going to make you, as the business owner and creator, more easy to understand what to do moving forward to solve future problems. So let's say you're making videos an experiment or experience, right? What emotions do these what emotions do these viewers feel when we make videos like this, right? The main emotion that I've seen that is the most powerful is childlike curiosity, right? Not curiosity, childlike curiosity, right? This is basically making a video that makes someone go, huh, that's interesting, right? If they can feel that feeling of, huh, they will stay and watch that video. They will interact with that video. They'll subscribe to you. They will like, for example, this video here, if you're watching this far and you've actually taken the attention to watch this all the way through, me saying experiment versus experience probably made you go, huh, he's right, right? Because it's what Mr. Beast does, right? And a lot of times, if you look at the top people in your niche or just top people in general, you will realize these things that I'm telling you right now, right? But this childlike curiosity is such an important emotion to make the viewer feel. So, a way to, basically build on this is if you're trying to make someone feel that childlike curiosity, you need to have some sort of build up and pose a question in the beginning of the video. And this question can be indirect or direct, right? Or it could be even a setup for a future A/B storytelling video, right? So I'll explain both of those first, right? So first we'll explain the setup, then we'll explain the A/B testing, and then we'll explain or A/B storytelling, and then we will explain the actual question itself, right? Because childlike curiosity is a very important emotion, right? So first is the setup. So when you're trying to do a setup, this is basically doing a childlike curiosity setup for maybe the commentary niche like Zach T Films. For example, he says the woman was walking down the street and all of a sudden she was thrown in the head a water bottle, right? That is a setup. It is basically an anti-hook, right? An anti-hook creates childlike curiosity because they're watching and they'll be like, huh, I'm randomly thrown into the story of this woman who's walking down the street and all of a sudden a water bottle was thrown out of her head. Now they're curious, right? A good example of this is Zach D Films. And this is called anti-hooks. Now, if we want to talk about A/B storytelling, this can be something like, these are the best animals on the planet. Stay tuned for number 3, right? Or number 3 is going to shock you. What this does is this creates 2 storylines. The first storyline here is, okay, I'm going to watch the best animals on the planet. Let's be a little more, let's say it's dogs, right? Best dogs on the planet. And then the second storyline is I'm staying tuned to the very end. These are also called open loops. Stay till very end, right? So these are called open loops. So you're staying to watch the best dogs, and then you're also staying to see what's going to happen at the end. So basically, if I draw this visually for you, right, you basically have, imagine a storyline here. This is storyline from start to beginning. And when I say these are the best dogs in the world, stay tuned for number 3. The first one is best dogs in the world creates one storyline, and then we create a second storyline that's going to loop later to the very end. So we have the streamlined storyline, and then we have the looping storyline. And then you close the loop at the very end where you conclude the best dog, right? And then the question, right? A question could be something like, did you know blank, right? Did you know blank? These are great ways to pose questions. This opens for childlike curiosity. I'm just gonna put a question mark. Did you blank? Did you know blank? Right? So these are great ways to open childlike curiosity to get your viewer to stay engaged with your video. Now, there's also a fourth one that I want to talk about that I was kind of saving until I explain these first. So I hope this made sense here. The last one is a visual childlike curiosity. Now, visual childlike curiosity is a very, very powerful thing to put on your video because it doesn't really matter who's watching. You will feel interested and you don't have to be intelligent to understand, right? The average intelligence of the people watching your video is probably anywhere from 3rd grade to 5th grade American education, right? Which I'm going to be showing you guys is not very, very high. And that's because we're balancing kids to adults if we're trying to view max and get the most amount of views possible, right? So doing a visual childlike curiosity hook is crucial. I'm going to say visual childlike curiosity hook. VCLCH. What an awful analogy. I'll work on that later, all right? But a visual childlike curiosity hook is amazing because it gets people engaged. And this can be something like a constant pop-up animation of a dog, or maybe it's like, did you know? And then it shows like a dog falling off an airplane. Or for A/B testing, it can be like for dogs, it's like, did you know these are the best dogs? And it shows a dog thinking over here like this. Or for anti-hooks, it can be a dog walking down the street. The dog was walking down the street, then a blank happened, right? All of these can be used for childlike curiosity hooks, right? Because remember, we are creators. We're trying to basically create magic, right? If we can create magic, YouTube will gift us with views. And guess what views equal? Views equal money, and then money equals, I guess, more money, and then you get people be really happy. So yeah, that is kind of what I do when I'm thinking about this. I wanted this video to be more in depth. If you're watching this with my channel for the first time, again, I have lots of videos that go into detail about very specific things. But if you're a viewer who's been watching me for like a while, I wanted to make this video to go more in depth and just explain things in more detail. I know a lot of people, they are actually learning a lot from these videos, and I'm so happy to hear it. I mean, in the Discord, we're having a lot of students also just making a ton of money. We're having a lot of people who aren't even in the program just making money from the free videos. So I want to take these videos up a notch. We're going to basically take down the production quality and increase the value quality. So that's what we're going to be doing moving forward. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, drop me a like and go ahead and subscribe and comment what you want me to make in these future videos. And also, this is day 8 of the View Maximizing Bootcamp. We have like a whole series on our channel where we do like bootcamp videos, but yeah. Also, if you do want to work with me one-on-one, you can click on the first link in the description and apply to work with me, and apply, and then I'll reach out, or my team will reach out to see maybe we can work together and scale a channel up, man, or scale multiple channels if you're at that stage you want to scale multiple channels. Anyways, that's all for this video. Childlike curiosity, view maxing, views equals money. Lots of good stuff in this video. I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.